Hey folks, Charlie with StillCraft here again. Going to go through a rig rundown of the stuff I use on stage. I go through what I've used in the studio. As most of you that know me or have seen me play out, I like to play different basses. I just try to pick which one fits my mood for the day. So I'll give you an idea what I have to choose from. So stick around. We're going to go through each one. Hope you like it. All right, first up is my German Warwick Corvette Double Buck. This thing has been with me for probably a decade at this point, which for me is a really long time, and I have no plans on having this leave my side anytime soon. It's actually the bass that I auditioned in the band with. It has exotic woods, massive pickups as you can tell, active preamp, but I can bypass it, play it passive mode. It's just got this woody, punchy sound that's just fits what we do really well. Usually pick this one up and bring it out. You've seen me play this on stage a few times. We got lots of pics with me jamming on this one, and you'll see many more coming. So, yeah, this is one that that's definitely a keeper. Okay, next up is probably one of my main basses now when I go out. This is a Spectre Euro Lx. It's a neck through kind of matte black bass. It's been modded and hot rodded with EMG X pickups and an EMG BT3 preamp. So it gives me a lot of mid-range boost. It also helps sterilize a little bit of the sound, so it's not too aggressive. Can tone it down a bit, and just kind of what I've been playing out the last couple of shows, and what I actually played the Tantric show with. Just does feels really good. Fit and finish on this thing are outstanding. It's a neck through, just a lot of fun to play. Fairly lightweight and just a really cool neck, and works really well with the amps and stuff that I'm using these days, which we'll go over in a bit. But yeah, definitely one of my favorites at this point. And this is the Lakeland Geyser Butler signature P bass. So as we were getting ready to go into the studio, I really wanted to record with a full passive bass. Did a lot of research, found this one. It's got the Geyser Butler EMG P&J pickups, which just sound fantastic. Full passive bass, so I can roll off the tone knob and get some really good, deep, old school bass sounds. Not that we do much of that, but I have it at my disposal if I need it. Again, this is what I went in their recording sessions and recorded our EP with. Hopefully, that will be coming out soon. You'll kind of hear what this bass can do. Probably end up bringing it out and start playing a few shows with it. Just break it in a little bit more. This was actually hanging on the wall at a Guitar Center, I think down in Hollywood, California. So just added to kind of the interest for this one. So enjoy. You'll see this one out with me sometime in the near future. Alright, next up is this badass bass. This is a Chris Cale Spectre signature bass. It's actually one of the first runs that he did. It's based off of the Rex Brown bass that Spectre did. Chris Cale actually then chose a different, really aggressive body style that I'm not too fond of, but this one was a winner in my book. The matte black finish, active EMG pickups, and an active preamp just really make this thing a lot of fun to play and sound just awesome. Get another neck through bass. I've played this out many times, and if we're playing like a show, a heavy show, again, like if we have to kick ass with our brothers from Deprive, this is the bass I'll pull out because this is metal as fuck and lets me hold my own against those guys. But you see me playing this one a lot. It's just it's a lot of fun and just looks cool as hell. And for when we decide to mellow out a little bit, or when we need to strip down, I've got this bad boy. This is a Spectre Timber acoustic electric bass. Yeah, picked it up recently just because I'm a big Spectre fan. I've read a lot of good things about this bass. It's modeled after, I think, the Thunder Chief acoustic bass. The chambering in this is really good. It has a good deep sound. The electronics are Fishman, which pick up really well through the PA. So really looking forward to playing this one out. Hopefully, kind of chance to do a couple acoustic gigs out. Again, we always do full band acoustic gigs, a little bit different from other folks. So if you do see one of our acoustic gigs come out, check it out. And kind of trying to bring back some of that old MTV Unplugged vibe. Just do some heavy rock songs unplugged, and we try to give them as much justice as we can. So yeah, stick around, check out the site, and if you see an acoustic gig, come out and check us out. And powering all the guitars is my rig. So basically, I switched over to Mesa a couple of years ago. So this is a Mesa Subway D Rig. So I've got the Subway D 800 plus head and the Subway 212 cabinet. It just landed on the Mesa Subways because it's the right combination of size, weight, and power. This thing will hold its own pretty much against anything. And if you know anything about Mesa gear, it gives you a lot of headroom with a lot of clean power. And this thing will crank. I haven't had a chance to play it out as much as I wanted to, but you'll be seeing this coming up. We've got a few shows coming, and another big one coming up that I'm really looking forward to. You'll definitely see this out there. Of course, I custom fitted it with actually it's just a StillCraft t-shirt that has been modded to be a screen cover for, or dust cover for my speakers. I think it looks cool as hell. I can bring the branding with me anywhere we go, any stage we play. As far as kind of how I play, you can see the EQ is really heavy mid-range focus. Again, if you listen to the band, you listen to what we're about. We've got a good heavy sound, really aggressive sound. A lot of that comes from EQing and the type of basses that I use. So this is what you'll hear. When you hear us playing out, this is what you'll see back on stage behind me. Great little amp. Glad I got it, and it doesn't break my back loading it in. Let me see, if I had my preference or I had roadies, I'd be lugging around an Ampeg, but not at this point. Yeah, and I do run a few pedals. Just to kind of punch some of the sound and drive a lot of that mid-range focus I was talking about before. Usually only have two pedals on all the time. So the first one is the Doug Pinnick, the pedal on the lower right. It's kind of a multi-effect pedal, but simply I use it as an EQ to overdrive the amp, so I can get a heavier overdriven sound without having to crank the volume up. Again, a lot of stages are very conscious of volume. So trying to get our sound without really, blowing out the windows. Really cool little pedal. It's not really going after the Doug Pinnick sound myself, but the pedal allows me to kind of shape a lot of my sound going in. Can also run that right into the board, for some of the bigger shows. Definitely cool pedal. Onboard tuner too, which helps. It kind of saves a little room on the pedal board. The other pedal I leave on all the time is the T-Rex Bass Juice, and I've got it down just a bit, just adding a little touch. It just kind of expands the signal out a bit more, gives it a little bit of overdrive, just fills out the sound underneath Murph's guitar, a bit more. I've had that for years. Put it back on the board with the new rig, and it's been working out really well. The drop pedal is freaking cool. That allows us to drop down to different tunings, so we can go from a standard, or in our case, most of what we play is just a half step down. But if we kick this, we can go 2 steps down and go right from a D sharp to a C sharp tuning with one click. Allows us to get into Slipknot tunings and do some of the covers. And a few of the original songs that we have are a little heavier, playing different tunings, so we don't have to bring out a whole arsenal of guitars, because it doesn't work out on some of the small stages as well. The Spark is a boost pedal, so it just allows me to crank up the signal a bit, for certain songs, or if it's just if there's something going on, if Murph goes into a solo, I can kind of fill it out a bit more by clicking on the boost. And the MXR, the bass DI, again, I use that sometimes for distortion, kind of really blast out some heavier songs if need be. Don't use that as much as I used to, but haven't brought myself to take it off the board yet. So you see, it's kind of what's driving the signal chain going into the Mesa. Using heavy mid focus basses, going into kind of the tone shaping I'm doing on my board, into a heavy mid focused rig setup. Gives you an idea of the sound that I'm pushing out. It's kind of it's what you hear when you hear us play out, what I'm trying to drive and go for with some of the studio sounds. So hey folks, there you have it. A quick rig rundown for what I'm doing on bass. Keep checking back, because I am known to change stuff pretty frequently. I've brought a few new things in since the last time we played out. check back on social media, check back on our website for new dates coming out. We're looking to make a few big announcements here really soon. Can't wait to see you guys out there, and I'll be bringing one of my toys with me, and look forward to seeing you. Take care. Peace out.